Yeah. Okay, it seems to be working.
There, I've adjusted the gain. Is that any better?
Yeah, I
Uh,
can hear you a lot better now. How's my microphone? Am I too loud?
yeah, you're both too loud
No,
now.
not at all.
Yeah, you're both too
Oh,
loud.
too loud.
You're both too loud.
I'm too loud, Gary? Okay, I'll lower it.
By my standard. My standard's the only standard that counts, right? Yeah, you're gonna have to keep your speakers down a little bit, Cowpox. Just, just so you don't get too much feedback. But you're okay. You're just on the borderline of too much feedback, but you're okay.
Is that any better?
It's yes, it's quite good, I think.
Okay, how about me? Am I better?
Well, not really, but it's good enough.
Okay. I won't do any screaming or hysterical laughing, so try to make it less
Yeah, I can always
humorous.
just turn the volume down. That's what I can always do. Well, I think I can. Yeah, I think I can figure out how to do that.
But yeah, Cowpox, I don't want to take too much time away from conversation and whatnot, but I'm sorry I haven't been in touch. I want to definitely get the new. If you want me to change the name of the domain, I'll put it as Wetlands Remediation, and I want to give you your
Oh,
prize money since you're like the winner and stuff.
oh, no, 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 no. Please, I've given it second thought. It's best not to fuck with things, if they're already there.
Are you sure?
And please, yes, and the money, as far as the money goes, please go have a drink at Bayless place.
No, I'll think of something.
Yeah,
But
cigarettes,
thank you. But
cigarettes, cigarettes. You can always send Cowpox cigarettes too, right?
I could definitely do
Yeah,
that. You like Coca Cola too? I know that.
yeah. Well, yeah. Neither don't grow on
Oh,
trees, as they
Well,
say.
oh,
that's very kind of
actually,
you. Well, I'll put it towards the upkeep of the site, and then if you need it at any point, it's yours. Okay? How about we do that?
by the way, it's Hill Country Value Cola. We boycott Coca-Cola. They're the soft drink of death squads.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
I'm
everything.
so addicted to it. I can. Yeah, yeah. No argument.
how did your review with the masters go with your art professor?
Yeah. Oh, it went really well. It went great. I presented on what I had so far of your archive and Gary's archive and some of the other ones I'm building, and it was just a conversation about digital humanities, which I don't really know anything about because it's not. I'm kind of a renegade in my own department, kind of thing. But it was great. It was great. It's. I got huge news a couple days ago, which I won't go into now, but it's going swimmingly.
Oh, well, you always were too modest. You
So
really need to develop a raging ego. It helps in the art.
I think I already sort of do, but I mean, I really, that's the last thing I want to get too completely out of control. You know, I think I have one.
Well, it's like they say, don't sell the steak, sell the sizzle.
Yeah, but that's what they say, and they suck. So yeah, don't do what they say because they suck.
No, I will say though, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I do wanna try to sell a little sizzle because I mean I do have this screening coming up for the movie that isn't made yet, but it will be, and yeah, I mean I want to try to get some butts and seats, so I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I mean nothing crazy, not like I'm not talking about doing some stupid publicity stunt, but um, I don't know, trying to get the attention of the right person to come view it and write about it or review it or something. I don't know. We'll see. I'm
Yes,
thinking.
we do have to come up with something brilliant.
We do.
Yeah,
We do.
I have to work on that brilliant thing.
Me too.
Seems pretty obvious. I mean, if these idiots can do it, yeah, should be able to do it. Being brilliant should be easy, right? If idiots can do it.
Yeah, it doesn't. It seems like something very simple will work. You know what I mean? I mean, something simple often does.
Yeah, I got.
But I also don't want to do something stupid that fails miserably. So there's a lot of there's a lot riding on a move like that. So I just want to come up with something good.
I figured I might make a 2-hour movie of the cat meowing. Figured that might maybe that's a winner, because he does have, it's all complaining, and it's just 2 hours of a cat complaining might be pretty cool.
Well, Little Bub, who's like one of the biggest cat celebrities or whatever they call them on the internet, did that. Like they did like a what is it? A fireplace with Little Bub. You know, in the background you can hear him like squawking and stuff, or up front, not in the background. And it got millions and millions and millions of views. So unfortunately, it works.
Yeah, I'll just put subtitles underneath. you know, you suck. Quit having babies, you motherfucking cunts. You're all
For
ugly as
2 hours.
hell. You're all ugly, ugly motherfuckers. You all smell like human dew.
I think it's a winning concept. I think we should do it. I mean,
Yeah.
Santino will be all too willing. You
Yeah,
know
well,
that's what
I
he's
figured I
capable
shouldn't
of.
go to waste because he just harasses me all day. Every 2 hours, whatever, he just starts whining about something. You know.
Yeah, so put that little fucker to work. You know, he's gotta earn his kibbles and bits. Well, that's for dogs, isn't it? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yes.
No, don't exploit Santino.
Whoa, Gary, is that a smoke?
Yeah, it's the last fucking one, too. Last one. Uh,
Saddest words known to man.
yeah, I love cigarettes.
Yeah, so what have you been up to, man?
Nothing. I've been, whatever, I've been surviving. That's what I've been up to. I'm here. It takes a lot of work to be continually existing.
That's true, you do put out a lot of energy to do this.
Well, no, I don't really. Yeah, not anymore. But anyway, I really
Well,
should. Well, I just saying, it just doesn't, it's all very tedious and irritating. you know, so that's the effort. That I endure the tedium and the irritation.
Well, I'm sorry to hear the Blogger Dome video. Sounds like it gave you some special trouble. What happened? Did you do a back and forth?
No, it's just I was just I just did a video, really. I didn't even bother with the back and forth. I just said, look, this is the economy, you fucking idiots. And so, but I just put something in the background just so people have some images to watch fly by. So I did that Google thing in the background, and so it's just putting the videos on top of the background, and the one hunk of video was 2 gigabytes or whatever, so it was bigger than the converter I have will tolerate, and the reliable converter. So I convert it into a WMF, and then I convert it into MBG, and then I convert it into MOV, and I convert it into every fucking file possible. And it kept fucking the sound up, and it's like, well, my editor's tolerances, I guess, or whatever. It just didn't like the size of the file or the size of I don't know what it didn't like. It didn't like something, but it just kept fucking it up.
Oh, that sucks. I've been there. I've been using VLC lately. I don't know if they have that for Windows, but it's really quite excellent.
Yeah, I don't even.
Yeah, that's been
Yeah,
the standard for like years.
I use MPEG Streamclip a lot too. That's a great program too. But that's great you got it done. Thank you.
Stream clip. Okay, well, I'll write it down. I'll probably get some fucking virus version of it.
I can send you a link.
Clip.
I use it all the time.
Hey Gary, not for nothing, I've been offline for a while. Is conference report still alive?
Yeah, as far as I know, but he's still an asshole too. So what good does it do? you know, no point in being alive if you're going to be an asshole perpetually.
He hasn't made a video in a long time, and before he stopped, he made some awfully nasty ones.
Yeah, well, I think it's just that I think he got some heat from work probably too. He had to. He did seem like he was taking his job rather casual. I mean, from my perspective, anyway, he seemed like for a professor, he seemed to have an awful lot of free time or whatever you want to call that.
Yeah, well, I mean, if he pulled a rabbit video in the United States, he wouldn't be working so long.
That's not true at all. At an art
No,
school, believe
that's
me,
very, no, well,
pretty
no,
standard fare.
no, it is very true. I live next door to Island School of Design, and if you pull that, you would not be working.
That's because it's RISD and they don't have a performance department.
Yeah, I really, I
They
don't. I
used to
think it's
not
kind of
anyway.
banded. I think it's kind of silly to say that he works at a place where whatever starving artist actor types go. It's a fucking art school. It's not a real college. No offense, old fan.
Yeah, Irwin's the veteran too.
Well, being an art major has one advantage, is you're not encumbered with false illusions of making a life once you
Yeah, and you can also just fart your final exam and say there, I'm an artist.
Yeah,
So yeah, the math isn't very rigorous.
that is unfortunately extraordinarily true. There's like almost nothing expected of people. They just do absolutely nothing with their MFA while they're getting it. Not that I've done any
graduate.
leaps and bounds, but fuck, I mean, at least I'm not making
No,
one
I
of
could
the
give you
stations.
yeah, I was gonna say, I could like give you a coloring book and a box of Crayolas and you'd have your MFA.
Well, what are you jealous, Bandit? Is that it? You're jealous? You didn't think of the rabbit thing
Exceedingly.
first? Well, I'm just saying. It just sounds like you're just a little whiner. Because you didn't think of the rabbit
No,
thing first.
no, no, my whole point is those things shouldn't even be college degrees. They should be fucking like, extracurricular activities.
Yeah, whatever. Obviously, there's a racket called performance, in the world loves performers, so it's kind of silly to say that it doesn't mean anything. Of course, it means something to people. Well, I mean, it doesn't mean shit to me. I mean, frankly, but
No, I
that's
didn't say that it didn't mean anything. I just don't think that they should be yeah, well, I mean, you can have a master's degree in anything else, and if you want to cook, you shouldn't be, an executive chef.
I don't even know what that means, but I mean, they held the same standards for like basketball and baseball and football and you know Olympic curling and we can go down a list of all the superfluous, useless things in the world.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to be a basketball player or a football player or whatever, I mean, you can get a degree in what is it? What do they usually get? Philosophy or a psychology degree?
physical education.
Yeah, and I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
I don't know. If you're not doing anything that's like it's like if you're not doing anything that's like innovative or like doing something that's going to help or like do whatever, yeah, I understand. Okay, well, yeah, I can get a degree in history. I can get a degree in like any of the humanities. Yeah, to me, they're not really degrees.
Well, whatever, you can say that all you want. I'm just saying they obviously have some. There's a social notion that these are real things to be studied, and I'm not saying they're not. I mean, culture is something to study. History is something to study. I wouldn't study it personally, but it's there to be studied. And I think theories of art are something to be studied. What moves people, what means something to people. The poetry of life is something worth studying. So I think it's kind of silly to say it's not worth it. Maybe people don't do it very well, but I wouldn't say it's.
Yeah, I mean, well, and I'm not saying it's not worth it, but I mean, if you want to study something subjective, like, okay, yeah, well, all right, I'm going to go study art, and I think this is good, and you think it sucks, then what makes my opinion any better than yours?
Well, that's not all that studying art would be about, though. It'd be also about studying the different mediums and the methods and, the cultural impressions, and, there's lots to it. So to say that you're just making it seem like it doesn't have any history, and it has a history.
No, I know it does. I have a very, very, like, fine appreciation for art, for sculpture, for drawing. I think you're a good artist, but I just don't think that should be something that somebody goes and pays $30,000 a year to go to school for.
I just don't know why it wouldn't be. So you're saying it shouldn't be, and I'm saying why shouldn't it be? I mean, it's as legitimate as, like I said, all these other things I can name, and it's certainly more legitimate than some asshole who spends every day shooting baskets.
Oh, I completely agree with you there too. I don't think any asshole that shoots baskets, throws a rubber ball through a hoop or through a field or whatever should get any more accolades than somebody that decides that they want to do macrame.
Yeah, so we agree that there's lots of fat or waste in terms of human potential, but I'm just saying, unless you're going to correct all the other things that are fucked up, I don't see any point in picking on art. A
Well, I'm
rational
not going to get into an argument with you about it.
Rational Axis was, he started that new job, so I imagine he's going to be busy for the first couple of months at a new job. You really gotta, get your feet on the ground and all that shit.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, Gary, how like reliable do you think the history of anything is?
Yeah, well, obviously it's not reliable at all. So you have to take it all with a grain of salt or whatever. I mean, even the counter history, you have to, wonder whether even your counter history is correct, and you have to find out an awful lot of circumstances to figure out who's telling the truth and who's full of shit. I mean, obviously people have an impression that the American Revolution was about freedom and all this kind of crap, and if you really dissect the founding fathers, they were all selfish fucks who basically just said, "What's in it for me?" They just basically wanted to be the king. They wanted to own America, and they didn't give a shit about the commoners. They just gave a shit about their own privilege.
Yeah, and that's my whole point. Like, I mean, if you want to say like something as far as what you would think, okay, the forefathers were. If you want to go granular and say, okay, well then what's the history of these other things that are not even as significant as those? And significant again is my opinion, but I don't know. I'm thinking of things that are like objective, like chemistry, biology, physics, those things. Those things are the ones that I think are the people that should be paying 30. Well, actually, I don't think any of them should be paying anything. I think knowledge should be free. They held it hostage, but whatever.
Yeah, well, it can't be. Nothing could be free. There's no free lunch, so to speak. But yes, certainly should be something we subsidize. The useful pursuits.
I actually think that would be a good discussion as far as how you feel towards people holding information hostage, especially in this type of world we live in now.
Yeah, well, I think copyright's legitimate, but it should have a time limit, right? So everything created should have a time limit. So, 10 years seems like enough time for you to make your money off your specialty, off your innovation. And if you, I guess I would give people after 10 years the right to go to court and say why they weren't able to exploit their shit and they need a few more years of copyright, and so I'd give them maybe the ability to appeal for an extra couple of years. But yeah, copyright should end, and then yeah, it's all public domain. That's the way it should work.
Yeah, it's fucking annoying that Tolkien's fucking offspring still own, the Lord of the Rings until what, 2043? It's like, how do you inherit something like that? Why would anybody inherit something like that? So fucking annoying.
Yeah, it's just a stupid world we live in. I mean, it's just so much productivity is lost. I mean, if you had to pay copyright on the round wheel still, just imagine how broken our civilization would be if every round thing had to pay a fee to the inventor of round.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing about my property professor, and I expected him to defend the whole property system, and he's a, 75-year-old Jewish guy, and he's like, yeah, this is all sort of bullshit. The 1% been keeping it in their family for generations, and we're like, I did not expect something like that. But, New England professors are pretty smart and liberal, I guess, or whatever the label is. So that was a relief to hear those words.
Yeah, it's just it's a silly racket we're all part of, and we just maintain it because people are afraid to change anything. So we're just stuck with it.
Yeah, like my problem is that it just seems that education, well, it doesn't seem it is. It's the biggest business in the world, and they completely rob people and rip them off, and they hold the information hostage. Where
No, it's
years
not
ago,
the
the reason
biggest,
that colleges
the
were even
biggest,
created
the
were so people could
biggest,
get
the
their own
biggest,
explore
the
and
biggest,
change information.
the biggest business in the world. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. Especially look now. Look,
Well, besides religion.
the game is going to be slowly broken. I mean, obviously, people are recording this stuff. People are, it's going to get to a point where you're not going to need these guys anymore. These performance artists, and you're going to be able to get your degree without them. So I'm just saying that we're getting there. It's just that they're dragging their feet, letting us get there. But obviously, knowledge isn't a secretive thing anymore. I mean, the internet, you want to build a nuclear bomb, yeah, you can pretty much do it off the internet.
Yeah, and the classes we missed because of Blizzard, they pretty much did them online. They put them online, and they had us do the voting thing, multiple choice thing. And did I really need to go to school for this?
Yeah, well, and I learned a hell of a lot of law just by, practicing it. So, it's you just read the case law and you can learn an awful lot.
And this is just by my own personal experience. I went to a lot of schools, and I've talked to people that have went to a lot of schools, and they've all told me that during their internships, whether it's been like a 3 or 4 month internship, they've learned more during the internship than they had during their 4 years of college.
Yeah, well, I mean, some subjects I don't think you can avoid. There's this, you know, it's like physics is a good example just because there's so much math you've got to get a grip of. And different kinds of mathematics and, calculus and all this other shit. And that's just procedural. I mean, you can learn from a book, but it's going to kill you time-wise no matter what. I mean, it requires an investment of time to grasp that stuff. So you can't just wiki page it and, oh yeah, I got it now.
No, but I mean, if you take somebody like yourself, who probably never had taken a college course in any type of computer science, and I'm just using this hypothetically, what you've done online and learned online, or if somebody else that has just, been online and used certain stuff, even the people that started in, say, 2010, by the time 2015 turns around, their degree is useless. It's changed so fast.
Yeah, well, that's a tricky field also, though, because it does change a lot, and so you invest an awful lot of your brain capital in a programming language that goes obsolete, and that's just all wasted. But I mean, it's another one of those subjects where I think if it wouldn't hurt to have somebody teach you who understands beginning to end how to learn it. You know what I mean? So when you start learning things in the wrong order, that can get you in trouble too. So you learn pieces of stuff, but you don't learn the basics. You don't learn this. You don't learn that. So it's like a surgeon who you know, he knows basically where all the blood vessels are, and he knows this and he knows that, but he's not a very good sewer. You know, I mean, it's like it's almost like why bother being a surgeon then if you're not going to learn how to sew?
Yeah, and that actually raises another good point because I take a lot of like economics classes, I take a lot of um, medical classes, stuff like that, and the way that they teach is the way that they know it, and they do skip all of those steps, and they expect you to know to skip those steps.
Well, I'm saying they can do it badly or they can do it well. I'm just saying that I tend to believe that there is a possibility that somebody through experience can know how the best way to learn something is. Like if I was going to teach mathematics, right? I would teach it theoretically, and first I would explain that look, this change from algebra to geometry to trigonometry, these different subjects really aren't different subjects. It's all one subject. All right, and you have to think it's all geometry in a sense, okay? And the rest of it is just manipulating the geometry, you know, in this ether of numbers, you know, these formulas, and all these formulas represent a relationship that exists, a real relationship, not a fake one, a real one, you know, and that's why they work. So I'm just saying, but that would be a
So, just out
different.
of curiosity, if you were going to go back to school and start from scratch, what do you think that you would concentrate in?
Oh hell, if I know. I mean, it's a different world in terms of your practical knowledge versus fun knowledge. Oh, he's not here anymore. Because now it's all about specialties. I mean, to be practical, you gotta have to be a specialist. I mean, that's where the money is. So it's just a different kind of world. And there's value in being one of the theoretical types. I mean, it's more fun to be a theoretical type, but it's not very practical.
But I mean, like, if you were going to like go into school right now, do you think you go into like biology or chemistry or physics, or what do you think you would do?
Well, it's a kind of a loaded question to ask me, just because obviously I believe I've just outdone Einstein, and I've unified physics and all that shit. So I mean, I think obviously that should be my specialty, right? Because I'm going to win the Nobel Prize, even if it's posthumously. Yes, I win. So apparently I have to share it with this other guy, Vernon Brown. I have to go look him up.
Yeah, well, I must have missed your unified theory. What do you guys got going on?
Well, I'm not going to explain it all to you. Draft Science YouTube channel. Draft Science. You haven't seen the Draft Science YouTube channel? Miles and miles of videos on physics there.
We knew a mathematics professor, whenever his students had difficulty grasping integration and calculus, he would simply recommend that they go and obtain a small amount of peyote
Yeah.
and consume that. And damn, in most cases, it worked.
Yeah, I don't. It's kind of anecdotal evidence, but I'll accept it. But yeah, I just don't see how that could be possible. I mean, to me anyway, just from my perspective, it's just way too, you know, just even
Well,
having.
it's hard to find an Indian these days.
Well, that too. But yeah, I mean, it's already obtuse enough, and to make it crookeder, I just don't see how more crooked. That's like making the boat rock more. Like you're seasick on a boat, and they say, "Well, if I stir this up some more, it'll make you all better." And yeah, I don't know. I think it just might make me sicker.
Well, it didn't do a damn thing for us, but we're not a mathematician either. The last time we had some, the Indian gave us we sprouted a Christmas tree and lights out of the top of our head, and it grew so tall we couldn't move about our apartment.
Wow. Yeah, I had a 9-foot penis once, but I didn't take any peyote. Yeah, I was just sleeping. Uh,
Please send me the pics.
yes, well, I'm afraid they're all locked up in here. They're all in here.
So Gary, he has a video. He has a YouTube channel. Vernon Brown guy.
He has a YouTube channel?
Yeah, with physics videos.
Okay, good. I'll have to look at them and see if he's saying the same shit I'm saying. It would be,
Yeah, so anyway, can you give me at least cliff notes?
yeah, it's basically a photon theory of everything in the sense that it's photons, gravitons create gravity. So we're constantly being bombarded by a pressure of photons in the universe that don't have a frequency, so they're undetectable except matter obviously detects them. And it is pushed in a way by them, changed in its disposition. And so the theory basically says that all matter is made out of energy. It's made out of these discrete photons, right? So protons are made out of photons, neutrons are made out of photons, electrons are made out of photons. Everything's made out of photons, just caught in spirals. And it accounts for gravity in the sense that they shield each other from the photon pressure, and that creates a low pressure between them and pushes them together. And that's what creates what we call attraction and repulsion. And it goes all the way to the atomic nucleus is being affected by the same force. It creates magnetism when it's polarized. It creates electricity when it's polarized. And it just accounts for everything, and it even explains time dilation. So it unifies.
So does it account for dark matter, dark energy, and would you say that there's like really only one force of nature?
Well, I don't have to worry about dark matter and dark energy because those are just theoretical concepts created to make the math work for their own problems. So in my argument might be is that gravity is dark energy and dark matter. I mean, I'm basically saying that magnetism is gravity. It's basically being created by gravity. It's just gravity that's polarized.
So the electromagnetic force, one of the forces of nature, is basically just photons. Same with the rest.
Yeah, they're gravitons, but they're not photons. They're photons without a frequency. So photons without a frequency would be, not a photon, but it's still a graviton. So they're photons without frequency, or their frequency is so high that we can't detect it.
Well, that was actually going to be my next question. Do you think there's things a lot more granular that we haven't been able to detect just because our tools aren't there yet?
Well, like I say, we do detect them. It's pushing you to the Earth right now. You're detecting gravity right now, so obviously you're detecting them. But obviously they can't be detected in some other way. You can't see them. You can only see their effect. So much like light, they have an effect, but their effect is more subtle than light because light has a frequency that affects electrons. Gravity doesn't have a frequency that affects electrons in the same way, so it doesn't do any energy exchanges with electrons. It just does directional exchanges. So it doesn't exchange. It doesn't. Gravity isn't trapped and released by electrons like photons are. But I mean that's the only difference between the two. If electrons didn't absorb photons,
That goes into my
if electrons didn't if electrons, yeah, I'll just finish this one sentence. If electrons didn't absorb photons, you'd have no way of knowing photons exist.
I was going to say, do you think that, and this is just my hypothesis, not only like solar system wise or universe wise, well, not universe wise, but galaxy wise, and then going universe wise, do you think everything's connected by those photons? like a spider web almost.
Well, I'm saying everything's made out of them, so it's all like they're the individual fish, and all the matter is schools of fish. All right, so you have to just think of it as like there's individual fish, and then there's fish in arrangements where they're swimming around each other, and those arrangements can move, and then you can have two schools of fish that interact with each other, and then you can have a whole colony of schools of fish interact with each other. So, but yes, the individual fish are the photons, and everything else is a school of photons.
No, but my hypothesis is that everything in the universe, whether it's, 14.9 whatever billion years, I think everything is connected. And I don't know if it's by gravity, and the gravity is by photons, as you said.
Oh yeah, well,
I mean, you think that it's all just like one.
obviously, I don't believe in any string or rope theory. I don't believe that everything's connected. Everything is fish. The fish have to swim across space to be connected. They can't be connected any other way than the only way I'm connected to some galaxy out in the universe is that the light takes billions of years to get to me, to connect me, but that's the only connection there is. Little pieces of it, the galaxy, go flying all the way across space and hit me in the eye, and that's how I'm connected. So yeah, good to see Mr. Natural and Cowpox in the same room at the same time. Amazing. Spectacular.
All Stars Night.
Yes. Our old fartus, old fartus night. Uh, yeah, we're all old. We're old, and you're even older than me, so you're even older than old. But, we have that wisdom thing. No more beauty anymore, but we got the wisdom thing now.
I was just always kind of under the assumption that, like, even, like, let's just say this piece of pizza was a galaxy and there was a piece of pizza over there that's a galaxy. I still think they're connected.
Yeah, well, you're just repeating yourself. Yes,
photons.
you're just repeating yourself. Yeah, connected by gravity or whatever. I just explained that gravity is photons moving the speed of light, and that's not much of a connection. It's kind of a nothing connection. It's kind of very impersonal. Being bombarded by a bunch of BBs flying off of something doesn't seem to me to be terribly personal. I mean, that's like saying I'm connected to birds because they shit on my head. I don't think that's a very valid connection.
I'm seeing on a relative scale. I mean, like, the planets are all interconnected.
Well, you're going to keep saying these words, and I'm going to keep saying, what interconnected by what? By a stream of fucking little bits of shit bouncing off of it? Well, that's not much of a connection.
No, by gravity.
There's no fucking gravity is a force that made out of something. It's not an invisible nothing. It's made out of photons traveling the speed of light. Even gravity travels the speed of light. All right? There's no instantaneous connection between things. There's no I feel it's wiener from 4 billion light years away. Ugh.
The interject.
To interject.
Gravity is weight.
Well, that's really brilliant. Gravity is weight. Yeah, that's really smart.
Not photons, but just like, I mean, what the base of it.
Yeah, like what, man? Like, is that a rational comment? I think you've been doing too much peyote. Yeah, that's the non-explained nothing. Yes, the nothing. The space knows how much you weigh. Okay, well that's a great theory. It sucks in my opinion. It's vacuous and might as well just say Jesus done it.
Jesus done it.
Okay.
No, I just don't understand, like, how, like, the weight of a planet causes gravity, so why doesn't the weight of the whole universe cause gravity?
There's no
on top of
fucking
the
wave.
universe?
There's no
You know, et
fucking
cetera, et cetera.
wave. There's no fucking wave. There's no fucking wave. Wave is a pile of shit. Made up drivel. There's no waves. Waves happen in mediums. There's no medium in empty space. photons are little discrete bits that fly the speed of light. Oh, what is that? Is that a vulgar thing? Oh, it's some upside down guy. Oh, okay. I thought it was a penis at first. But it's just some guy upside down.
Well, that's exactly why I asked you about like dark energy and matter, because there's not just empty space. There's still weight.
Look, I'm not gonna argue this crap, okay? You want to have a conversation about theoretically contrived and made up bullshit? Fine. There's nothing to talk about, okay? Dark energy and dark matter are just theoretic contrivances created so they can account for the necessary extra mass in the universe to hold it together. It's not something I have to worry about. It's not on my agenda. I just already said to you overtly, I said right to your fucking face, I'm saying it's probably just gravitons. I mean, if they had the theory right, then they wouldn't need to contrive crap to fix it. So I'm just saying that once they get this theory right and do the math, then maybe they won't have to have extra gravity then when they recognize that gravitons can be polarized and therefore have much more effect on the thing they're affecting.
So do you think all these entities, like our own universe and solar system, whatever, are just by themselves? There's nothing else attached to it? Nothing. It's just doing its own thing.
Yes, there's nothing attached to it. It doesn't have an umbilical cord to the special super Jesus in the other universe.
No, that's fine. That's all I want. That was my only question.
Yeah, the universe is one big pile of little fish swimming the speed of light. The little fish have always swum the speed of light. The little fish don't do anything else but swim the speed of light. The little fish can't be created and they can't be destroyed. The universe has got as much energy in it as it did forever, except it's just getting bigger, and so the energy is in a bigger vessel, and as the vessel gets bigger and bigger or expands, the little fish they'll just wander off. They'll all just go their own way because there won't be anything pushing them together anymore. Because the only thing pushing them together is other little fish.
Yeah, see, the reason why I think that they are all connected is you'll see galaxies eat up other galaxies.
Yeah, well, you believe it based on nothing, and you just made up a Hansel and Gretel story. Fine, okay, you believe in Hansel and Gretel. Fine, I don't.
Damn, that's disappointing. You mean there's no gingerbread house?
Yeah, it's just a pipe dream, just wishful thinking. Yeah, no.
I did not make it up. I mean, we have physical evidence
No,
of universes
no,
combining
no,
and universes
no
eating up
Twinkie
universes.
world, no Twinkie world. Yeah, no, it's just a lie. Twilankus at the bottom of the ocean, the Twinkie island that sank thousands and billions of years ago. Yeah, no, never existed. Twinkie Island never existed.
Gosh damn it.
Lots of evidence. Yes, lots of evidence. Sorry, fail.
So we're essentially stuck with all these witches, but they don't even have the excuse of a gingerbread house.
Yes, and they're killing all the newts. Yeah, the fuckers.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it just is kind of funny that, the whole culture just lives on so much bullshit, just layers and layers of shit that people live on. We're just bugs that can sing and dance. Badly. Let me put the badly in there. especially for any Hofladay fans. Right, I mean, Hofladay's annoying enough when he's making philosophy videos, but then when he does this lame-ass bullshit where I'm going to do a music video and I'm going to play the lamest, craziest, crack shit, bull crap, fucking useless music ever invented, and chair dance to
Wait,
it.
wait, wait. Hold up. Why today did a music video?
Yeah, fucking 5 hours of him chair dancing to insanely bad music.
Holy shit.
I think
Clearly I haven't been paying enough attention.
I think it was 5 hours. But it's just like, yeah, I'm just like, oh man, YouTube has just left the building or whatever. It's, jump the shark, eaten by the shark, shit by the shark. There's just nothing on this stupid medium anymore.
Yeah, it is particularly dead lately. Darwin's hamster made some new videos.
Yeah, a week ago.
Oh, today? Today.
Oh, today. Well, good. I'll have to see those. Unless he's gonna spend an hour and a half talking about cardboard boxes or something. Sometimes he gets a little bit off the track.
Well, he was talking about some book about archives from the Vatican, so I don't know. But it was interesting, and I didn't watch the second one yet, so I can't speak about that one yet.
Yeah, well, he does have a tendency to fall into the truther bucket now and then, so you gotta watch him. So,
How have you been, Natch?
yeah, it's been a while. I forgot to mention that.
Been in the hospital. Been having a lot of problems with my patella, so they've removed it and replaced it.
Patella? They replaced your patella? What the fuck is that? I know what it is,
That's a
but
major surgery.
how do you get a new patella? Isn't that like a bone in your head or something?
My left knee, and now he's got some problems with the left knee.
Ah, so they did that arthroscopic surgery then. Okay, yes.
I'm sorry, Natch. That really sucks.
Yeah,
I
misery
hope you're
sucks.
recovering well.
Well, he's in the big comfy chair.
I am. Thank you very much. This is my bed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm like that with my couch. But yeah, today I had a misery, because, I must have hurt my back working on the computer or something. I don't know what I did. But yeah, all day I had that stupid, lousy back pain. It was just, It was one of the ones that got worse when you lie down, So that was really sucked. Because, can't just sleep it away.
Yeah, one of the things that pisses me off about, like, physics and shit like that is that you can, like, theoretically come up with a lot of good ideas, but if you can't prove it with math, which I suck at, then you're basically a fucking idiot, which I'm basically a fucking idiot.
Yeah, there's no math-proven evolution, so you don't really, I think this whole theory that you have to have math is kind of nonsense. All you have to do is be able to draw a picture of it and say, this is how it works. And the picture either matches what happens in the world or it doesn't. But yeah, in some math and physics is going to be helpful in terms of illustrating how it fits the mathematical models. But I mean, the math are just models again. But you could argue that, like, Einstein's math is very corrupt, right? I mean, Einstein's math for relativity basically depends on two objects justifying each other. It's like A does B because C, and then C does B because of A. You know what I mean? So the two things are somehow causing each other at the same time. Like one thing is causing this and this thing is causing that. But how can the two things cause each other? You know what I mean? There's no effect first. There's just two instantaneous causes. I mean, that's bullshit math, in my opinion, right? You two causes at the same time without the effect in between.
No, it just kind of sucks. Like if even if like you had a good idea about like your photon idea, what they would say is, okay, well, can you prove it mathematically? And then you have to come up with some
Well, I know,
fucking,
but you don't have to because
whatever
I
mathematically.
know, but I'm
And if you
still
can't, they're like, fuck you.
no. I don't have to do that because it already fits the math. That's the whole fucking point. Why do I have to do the math over again? It fits Newton's inverse square rule. It's going to fit everything in magnetism and electrodynamics, so I'm not going to have any problem duplicating all that math. So I'm just saying it doesn't. What do you can't recreate the math. I'm just saying it's going to blow up Einstein's math, yes, because Einstein is just fucking wrong. Okay, his time dilation crap is bad math.
Right. I'm just saying, well, that math was already there. I'm just saying, like, if there was no math there and you just had, like, a really good idea and you thought, hey, listen, this is the way that it is, they would be like, okay, well, prove it mathematically.
Well, I'm just saying that you prove it mathematically by just saying it fits the math. I'm just saying that if it already fits the math, I don't have to prove it mathematically because it's already proven because it fits the math. I mean, I can't. If I want to say that shadowed gravity fits inverse square rule, it fits the inverse square rule. There's nothing. I don't have to go any further than that. I'm just saying that yes, the mass shadowing photons would create exactly the force effects of gravity. It would create exactly the force effects of magnetism. It would create exactly the force effects of the strong and weak forces in the nucleus. So I'm just saying, if it already fits, why do I have to redo the math? It already fits the math.
No, what I was saying is, if the math wasn't there or if you didn't understand it, but you just had the thought, like, hey, this is how
Oh,
I think
yeah,
it
you're
is,
saying it over
then
again.
you're basically fucked.
Oh, you just keep saying the same thing over again. I mean, obviously, you have to if you have a theory, you can draw a picture of it. If you draw a picture of it, then somebody can analyze it and see if it fits the required math. So I'm just saying it's not that difficult. So you can say somebody's fucked, but I'm saying no, they're not. Because if they can draw a picture of it, then you can do math on it.
Just out of curiosity, how are you with math?
Well, I'm okay at, you know, Pythagorean theory kind of math, but yeah, I'm not too integrals. Come on, fuck that shit. Yeah, I don't have a clue what the hell the exact mechanics of that shit is. I mean, I don't know exactly what the obviously it works, but it works because it's a gimmick. You know what I mean? It's like counting how often jacks are going to come up in a deck of cards or something. Yeah, you can have some mathematical formula that explains that, but you don't necessarily understand it. You just know that, yeah, okay, it's like 1 in 75. Okay, that's the number, whatever the number would be. And you're just saying, okay, I get that. But you don't necessarily get the math. You get the relationship, but you don't get the math. So obviously an integral is doing something with a proportionality, and it's doing it over an infinite number of permutations, and it somehow shortens that all into some sort of numbers they flip around. But I'm just saying I don't understand how it does that. I understand that it does. I just don't understand how it works.
I don't know, like sometimes I just feel stupid because I understand the principles and how it works, but I just don't understand the math behind it.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying I don't know how you can understand either one when it comes to Einstein's relativity theory because it's a crock of shit. Yeah, I am a admirer of Einstein when he was a particulist, you know, when he was defending the particle theory of reality. But, I mean, you know, he was against waves, but, you know, he was for magic space. So, you know, I'm just saying I'm glad he was for the non-wave theory of reality, but I'm pissed off that he chose to um, contrive the bent space theory of reality. Yes, Newton. Gary believes in gravitons. That's why he called them gravitons. He believes in them.
Einstein would bathe every Saturday. While boating on the lake in Central Park, he happened to fall in. When they fished him back out, he said, "Remind me to mark this down as the Saturday bath."
Yeah, well, apparently he did a lot of things that were rather, I heard, okay? I never saw it, but I mean, I heard he would wet his pants now and then, you know. Well, I think the Higgs boson is, another theoretical contrivance. I mean, they obviously, they're creating an awful lot of pieces for inside of atoms, and it's getting awful crowded in there. But the Higgs boson isn't something they actually find. They only find a symptom of it, and then they say, well, it must exist because we found, you know, Higgs boson poo. And so they say, well, only a Higgs boson can make this particular kind of poo. It's a big giant poo. Only a Higgs boson can make this poo. So they say, yes, there's Higgs bosons. But I don't think they found Higgses, and I don't think they found poo. But I don't care one way or
No,
the
but that
other.
is
Yeah, well, I really agree with Gary. I mean, I think the Higgs boson thing was a completely contrivance as well, and I think it was one of those things just to keep the LHC funded.
Yeah, regardless of what the motivations are, I'm just saying that the atom smasher thing, you can only take it so far, right? To get to a point where eventually you're just making a mess, and anything that pops out isn't going to be a natural product. It's going to be a made product. I mean, they're making they're making things. They're not finding things. They're making them. They're smashing Volkswagens into Rolls Royces, and then they're saying, "Look, look at this funny looking piece. Let's call it something. All right, I'll call that a Goobion. Yeah, that's a Goobion. Yeah, that little bent fendery thing. Yeah, that's a Goobion."
I don't know what's happening, fellas, but I'm going to try to reboot because all I'm getting is every other word. Ever since Triple Watermelon came on, I have not been able to get any
Yes, blame the
audio.
Jew.
It's
Blame the
breaking up.
Jew.
I'm going to
Everybody's
try different
always
browsers. Be right
blaming the
back.
Jews. It's all the Jews' fault. It's always the Jews' fault. It's just funny. The Jew did it. Yes, but no, we can hear you fine. But yes, do that. Reboot. Hopefully you'll get back in.
My sugar.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. So anyway, where was I? Yeah, well, gravitons, in my opinion, aren't part of string theory. So I have no use for string theory. I guess I could call them something else. It just
you
seemed like
know,
graviton just seemed like the logical choice.
I take it then you're not a fan of Michio Kaku.
Oh God, I hate that guy. Yeah, he's cuckoo, Michiu cuckoo. Well, he's just such a show scientist. I hate these guys who are it's always selling his books and always blah, 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 blah. Us physicist guys are really cool and we do fun things and we're gonna have invisible suits in the future and we're gonna have really really cool sneakers. I mean, it's just he's just such a propagandist for isn't physics cool when physics is really tedious and irritating if you're really doing physics.
Yeah, I mean, he's another like Tyson DeGrasse guy. I mean, which everybody loves and he's like a superstar or whatever. Why don't you guys like pull up some papers that he was actually, responsible for? Nothing. None.
Yeah, and you know, like I said, this string theory thing. He's so caught up in this string theory shit, and I don't know what that's about. But you know, that's just going nowhere.
I think it's probably more accurate to say that they're intellectuals. The difference between an intellectual and an academic is that an intellectual has that panache or appeal, that ability to transcend. Like Noam Chomsky is an academic, but he's not an intellectual because you can fucking fall asleep listening to him. You know what I mean? Even though he's, obviously an intelligent person.
Well, I don't know if that's a good example because Noam Chomsky is sort of got himself a little bit of household name-ish kind of value to it. You know what I'm saying? He is kind of the man of smartness, smartification. He's a smartificationist, you know. But yeah, I get your point. But I just mean that physics really should be a serious science, and it just seems like physics has been subjected. Like Carl Sagan was, you know, the origin of this. I could almost argue, right? Well, I mean, you could go back to Einstein, though, right? Because Einstein played it, right? He wasn't looking for the celebrity, but he certainly played into it. And the mystery, you know, they all kept it quite mysterious, like it was an elitist science. You know, oh, you regular people can't understand this, but this is all magical and wave particle duality and blah, 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 blah. And it's all this mumbo-jumbo of their science. But I mean, you know, making I mean, obviously they had the atomic bomb was the show, right? I mean, so they were riding on that circus, you know, Jumbo the elephant bomb. And so people would go to the circus because, yeah, Jumbo the elephant bomb was there. But, you know, so that's sort of what gave Einstein power, right? Was the fact that, yeah, Einstein made the bomb, you know, that kind of thing.
I thought that was Oppenheimer.
I just mean that it was Einstein's E equals mc squared that basically said, yes, bombing is possible. Let's do it. Yeah, I just mean it's just I don't like this clown.
Well, I'm actually glad that science is being popularized, but I just hope that it's good science that we're being given.
Well, I'm just saying it's obviously not good science. It's Dr. Quantum science. So that's the whole problem, is that it's not going to get converted into good science because good science isn't fun. I mean, physics is really hard. You know, it's like really hard math. It's really a lot of different subjects you got to cover. You know, there's a lot to this physics shit. I mean, you got magnetism, electricity, you got the nuclear forces, you got gravity, you got the cosmic crap that's going on, you got black holes, you got all this. There's a ton of shit to acquire knowledge on, and you know, it's not going to just.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I said. That mathematics isn't any fun at all.
But that's the thing. Like if you're seriously going to get into the field of physics, it's like physics and then like 20 umbrella specialties. And like most like intellectuals, like most people who talk at like real like hardcore like physics conference and all and chemistry conferences, like they're generally only comfortable speaking in a very narrow field that they feel they're an expert on, and they're always offering caveats. You know, someone probably knows more than me. I'm probably wrong. You know, but here's my theory. They're very like, not full of themselves. At least nowadays.
Well, I can see the argument that there's a difference between the academics and the theoretical types. You know, the ones doing theory versus the ones doing, you know, what we call fact. But obviously, it all has these premises, these presumptions built into it. Like I said, I mean, there's nobody in a college right now, probably no college professor that's not teaching some wave particle duality shit. You know what I mean? They're not questioning the whatever you call that, the there's a word for that, some pope word, you know what I mean, I can't think of it, the orthodoxy.
Yeah, my whole problem is the people that are like, oh, I love science. No, you like the picture of the Horsehead Nebula, But the people that actually like truly love science are sitting in some lab right now at like 3 o'clock in the morning, crunching fucking numbers by themselves, like trying to think of something, you know?
And like, like Deepak Chopra. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, he's technically a doctor, right? He went through medical school. He's like, well, I'm technically a doctor. I've taken chemistry classes. Why can't I talk on chemistry? Because you're not an expert in chemistry, so don't talk about it.
Yeah, well, that's all I'm saying. I guess it's just sad that that's where the eyeballs go, is to these people who are not talking the science, but talking the show and the fluff and you know, the made up bits. They get a lot more mileage.
Truly, like intelligent scientists are always hedging their bets and offering caveats against anything they're going to say.
Well, I guess they should when they need to. I'm just saying, I don't think you can. You don't have to really caveat evolution anymore. I mean, it's pretty much a done deal.
Yeah, sure. I'm not.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, what I was going to say, there's no caveat in science. I mean, the scientific method is basically, okay, here's my hypothesis, this is what I think is going on, and then prove me wrong.
Well, obviously, it's a little more complicated than that. When some things aren't easy to prove, right? Physics is about things that are really, 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 really small. And you can't like just take a picture of them or something and say, "I see, look at the photon, it's masturbating." No, you can't do that. So it's a little hard to prove your photons masturbate theory.
That was fucking hard to listen to. Yeah, I mean, I want to amend what I said. I'm talking like specifically in things like theoretical physics and particle physics, things where there is no clear answer yet. So if it's just theories in general, everyone's so like people are theoretical physicists are very afraid of like saying something stupid, so they're constantly offering caveats. That's
Yeah, I don't think that's true though. Look at
or
that.
just being
Look at that paralyzed guy. He doesn't offer too many caveats. He's pretty arrogant. They're all pretty arrogant.
Yeah, but he's like, he's like, if physics made like a calendar, he'd be like the fireman with like water spraying on his abs.
I know, but I'm just saying these are the theoretical guys. That's my whole point, isn't it? Wasn't that my point? The theoretical guys are all full of shit. They're just talking out of their asses. They just make this crap up and everybody just eats it up because, well, they were right once. Einstein was right once, right? E equals mc squared. Okay, he got the really easy one right, and then he wrote this really complicated, silly theory about space dilating time, blah, 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 blah. And it's all crap. But because he got the E equals mc squared right, everybody thinks he's smart. I'm not saying he wasn't smart.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Michio Kaku is a theoretical physicist.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, so he's just full of shit.
Well, he would be, except Kaku is the student of Teller.
Kaku is a student of who? Well, but the Degrassi Tyson guy was a prodigy of, Sagan. But it was like the worst version of it.
Teller, the father of the hydrogen
Oh,
bomb.
yeah, well, Teller was a lunatic, so, yeah, there's no talking about Teller.
Crazy.
Teller was... I don't even know how he could know any physics because he didn't know anything else about anything. He didn't know what a cardboard box was. That guy was so clueless. Teller was a scary motherfucker.
Well, no, I was just gonna say it's like one of those things. Okay, we'll bring up a paper that Tyson DeGrasse or fucking Kaku wrote that was innovative that actually changed science. They don't have any, none, zero.
Well, I don't know if they have zero. I don't know. Kaku did some research about something that was somehow useful somewhere, I think. I think he has some claim to fame. He's not a completely useless pile of turd. I think he invented like green LEDs or something. I don't know. He did something.
Kaku is basically a futurist. He's kind of like a fucking Kurzweil, Ray Kurzweil or whatever the fuck his name is. He's one of those guys that has like these grandeurs, you know, these wonderful like ideas, which are great. I mean, those are awesome to think about, but there's nothing that's in stone or that's going to make it happen.
Well, I'm just saying, it's all just show physics, right? It's all like blowing stuff up. It's all like big bangy stuff, or it's all like, yeah, we're gonna all like have super, you know, whatever, folding cars, and our car will go beep 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 beep, beep. Little bubbles will come out of it, and we'll fly around in our little bubble car, and blah 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 blah. And we'll have a maid named Rosie, and she'll be a big clunky robot. Yeah, you know, just so she looks homey and friendly. You know, we'll make her all frumpy and dumpy, just to make it all look like it's, yeah, that's the way the robot should look, frumpy and dumpy. But yeah, that's all he's selling is the Jetsons, you know. Jew chocolate. What the hell was that? Jew chocolate? I don't know what that.
Videos where you just like no calories, no sugar. You just squirt it into water and
Oh,
it like flavors
yeah,
it.
yeah, okay. Yeah, it sounds like a Jewish racket to me. Yeah, yeah. Flavored water. Yeah, let's sell it for $10. It's not really a flavor.
That's this makes 12 8-liter drinks, and the thing is, it makes you drink more water, which is good for you. It's $3. It makes 12 8-liter beverages. That's pretty good.
Yeah, right. And how radioactive is it? What the hell is it actually made out of? Synthesized hydrochlorophloranisted oxidized ezidide, and iodine.
I mean, I'll admit, like, one of the words is a little hard to pronounce, but...
Yeah, that's the one with probably lots of radium in it. Yeah. Yum yum. I just put that in the category of too good to be true, right? You just know when something's, oh yeah, when something's making my water flavored, yeah, it's probably too good to be true.
Yeah, and my whole problem was with like the Kaku or fucking Degrassi, whatever the fuck his name is. When Gary could come up with like a theory, you know, oh yeah, well there's a jelly monster out there and he's gonna come get us and blah blah blah. If one of those motherfuckers said it, people would buy the book, they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe millions.
Well, they've already have said it. They've already said it.
Any fucking evidence whatsoever.
They've already said it, and they say exactly the opposite thing. Like I pointed out about Degrassi Tyson is that in one performance he was talking about how easy it would be for life to be created in the universe because, well, that's just carbon and oxygen and hydrogen. These are the most common elements in the universe, and so life will be everywhere. And then in another presentation he points out, well, the universe is really hostile and it's really radioactive and life doesn't happen easily. It's really complicated chemistry. You can't have living things and blah blah, you know, so it's just like a complete contradiction. Yeah, it's like, oh, where are they? We haven't heard anything. Where are they? How come they haven't sailed any boats this way? No Pinta, no Santa Maria, no nothing.
I think people want to believe, like, in a lot of this shit, but, and those guys make money off of it, but, you know, from whether it's believable or reality is a completely different animal.
Yeah, well, whatever. Obviously, people just want to watch them put on their clown shoes and flop around doing, you know, physics talks for whatever, you know, simplest physics for the common man, you know, and it's just clown physics. You know, Mr. Natural was going to reboot, but it's always a, you know, it's always dangerous. So he got lost somewhere in the processing of the medium.
Yeah, Gary, just out of curiosity, how have you remained, like, at least keep, like, an honest opinion instead of just jumping on one of the bandwagons?
Because I guess I'm really brilliant and smart. You can't fool me any of the time. Except with a joke. Okay. You know, jokes, I'm a little confused about jokes sometimes. But otherwise, yeah, you can't fool me. I've singularitied. Yeah, yeah. And so having already singularitied, I already know how it all works. Just way ahead of all you people. You all just haven't had your period yet, so you just don't know how bad it really is. Brain menstruation.
Yeah, well, besides your brain, just out of curiosity, how's the rest of your body been working?
Yeah,
It better be a hemorrhage because I can't take any more menstruation.
yeah, well, it hasn't been working too good, actually. I said today I was kind of miserable. Bad back and all. But, whatever, yeah, I mean, I'm surviving. It's just cold. I'm sick of being cold. I want this winter shit to finish already. Ooh, he's gonna put the magic radiation in his water. Ooh. Ooh. Look at that, it's colored too. Oh, that food coloring's got to do you some good too. That's really good for you, that coloring. It's really important to get some good coloring.
You know, I noticed those products started to get awfully popular after everybody stopped buying that soda maker thing that would take those kinds of drops initially.
Yeah, well, I'm all for flavored
There's
water.
no appreciation.
You know, I like to have water that has some taste to it.
Yeah, I'm all for it too. I'm sort of surprised the way it's catching on.
I mean, money-wise, it makes sense, and the thing is, they really started to blow up once official brands started licensing their flavors. So now it isn't like make your own soda or make your own drink, and it's like a knockoff of, you know, Country Time lemonade. Country Time licenses their fucking radiation goo.
Yeah, well, I like lemonade, so I'll have to get some lemonade water flavor and see if it's any good.
So for me, the biggest thing is I realize I drink more water now, and that's good.
Yeah, I used to.
There's no added.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I used to drink was water. I really want to go back to my water drinking days. Because now I'm really addicted to this coffee shit. Well, and vegetable juice. So the vegetable juice is good. But yeah, the coffee's got to go. It's no good for you. You coughed into my camera. Ugh, camera's tipping over. Fix it, Gary, fix it. Gotta turn this thing. Turn. Oh, fucking it up. There, okay. Alright, anyway. Alright, I'll get my coffee. Ipa City Water. I don't know what that is.
Neo in the water is but gateway to Neo in your vodka.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. I mean, it sort of makes it easier. I didn't think of that, but I wonder if bars are starting to use it.
I don't know how well it mixes with alcohol. If you actually look at it when it initially hits the water, it's like an oily-ish it changes the texture of the water as well. In a pleasant way, I would say.
Oh, yeah, right. Making it sticky and goopy. Yeah. Ew. Yeah, but you know, if something mixes with water, it should mix with alcohol. I mean, alcohol and water are pretty much the same chemical something or other. So I'm back. Oh, Mr. Natural's gone. He was here for a second. I saw him. I'm sure I did.
Yeah,
So he keeps on trucking.
Yeah.
indeed.
Jackknifing. I guess that's the same thing. Just a bad version. So anyway, next topic. Okay, let's go to the next one. That one sucked. Yeah, nothing. Let's talk about nothing. Okay. I think there's way too much nothing. It's always getting in the way, all this nothing. This extra nothing. I think we ought to tighten everything up and get rid of the nothing.
Well, I did
The
want
only
to
thing
ask.
worse.
Sorry, Erwin, go ahead.
Oh, I was about to say, the only thing worse than nothing is less than nothing.
Oh, of course,
Which
something.
usually ends up being something.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I want to be less than nothing. That sounds like a good couch to sleep on. Ah, yeah, yeah, likey. Yeah, it's all the something that's really bad. You don't know bad till you've seen something. I think nothing is bad. Oh, something. Ooh.
I did want to ask real quick, just because I didn't get a chance before. Do you mind if I ask how long the segment you did is?
Oh, 4 hours? No, it's all you're going to need. You'll have to cut some off of it probably, but you know it might be 50 minutes.
That's fine.
Might be 50, 40 something.
Okay, that's good. Sweet.
So plenty of room.
Okay, that's good. We don't have much, so thank you.
Yeah, well, if we need more, I can do
Since Mr. Gary is
Yes.
so cold up there and you have snow, do you ever make snow candy?
Yeah, I'm afraid
What's
to ask.
snow candy?
Yeah, it's something you sit
Yeah, I
on.
am too.
Yeah, you put some snow, you catch some snow in your ass crack, and yeah, no, it's probably some horrible thing.
Well, being the resident fat kid, I did once take a thing of chocolate sauce out into the snow and make myself a sundae, but that was years ago. I've come a long way since then.
Yeah, you can't eat snow anymore. I remember when you were a kid. I was a kid. You could eat snow because like snow
No,
was
you can't.
snow used to fall down and be clean. But you look at snow now; it's got all kinds of shit in it. When you look at like snow that just fell down, it's got all kinds of particulates in it.
Yeah.
But I used to drink milk when I was a kid too. That was crazy. So anyway, you do a lot of shit when you're a kid. I was a lot less delicate back then.
We find a can of milk distracts the cat from thoughts of drinking our blood instead.
Yeah, you do have to bribe them out of committing murder or something.
It is. The rats here are starting to breed, and the cats that passes through think it's their job to catch them. We find ourselves constantly pleading for mercy on those days.
Yeah, well, rats are kind of a pain in the ass. I mean, you know, I do sympathize. I mean, rodents are so interesting. I mean, they're such an active animal. They don't live very long, but they're so awake. I mean, they're just always awake. And so you really see their consciousness. But yeah, they're also fucking pain in the asses when they start chewing shit in the middle of the night. You can hear them chewing something. It's like, fuck you, shut up, chew quieter.
You're not scared by the hantavirus, are you?
Well, I don't like it, but there's not much I can do about it. I had some pack rats living in the house for a while, and they were really, I was trying to catch them in the have a heart trap, but they were way too smart for that. Really smart. And especially the mother rat. She was the last one. It took me forever to catch her. But I mean, it's so funny because they didn't eat any of the food. They just stole pens. They stole all kinds of plastic and bits of shit. And when I found the nest under the floor in the back room, I mean, it was all full of like all my shit. They just stole all my shit. I mean, I thought Pat Whack was a kind of a joke, but they really do just steal everything. I mean, they stole silverware. I mean, all kinds of shit.
They do well in Congress.
Yeah, yeah. Just to have. They just steal it to have it. They don't use it. They just have it.
Well, some say all property is theft. Most are just jealous because you do a better job of it.
Yeah, well, I don't think ownership is a great thing. I think we all should just kind of figure something's ours while we use it, and then once we're not using it anymore, it's not ours anymore. You know. You're not an atheist? Jeez. You actually believe you're a chosen people? You're chosen. We're going to conquer you all in the end. We will. We will conquer you all.
That's not what we mean by chosen.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, sure, sure. That's what you tell all the silly people you're going to own. You tell all the slaves that. Shh, yeah, don't give it away. Uh, you think the Egyptians made some silly pyramids? Wait till we have you jackasses as slaves, man. We're gonna make the funkiest pyramids ever with yarmulkes on them. Yeah, big yarmulkes in the sand. Yeah, you just seem too smart for this religion thing. I mean, maybe as a theater, like you might go to like religious theater. What I just don't see is like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. I live by that stuff. Give birds to poor people. Yeah, find a dead bird, give it to a poor person. Yeah, I live by that shit. But at least the Jews had all them cleanliness laws, so that was good. Wash your hands and lots of good stuff. Yeah, that Sunday thing is a little wacky though. Yeah, the Lord's Day. Yeah, you only get one day off, and then you take it to a preposterous extreme. Where you let the house burn down. You say, "Oh, I can't change the battery in the smoke detector." Can't screw in a light bulb. Oh, ISIS is just made up nonsense. There's no such thing. It's just whatever. It's just Shiites by a different name. Fundamentalist kooks. Yeah, you can't get rid of it. You have to quarantine it. You know, Mohammed is a disease. You just have to you have to quarantine everybody who has it. You know, put them on crazy motherfucker island. It's like leprosy, yeah. It's like lepers. You have to make an island for the lepers. We just have to make an island somewhere for the Muslims. Preferably an island that's sinking. Oh, there's some more connected crap. Yeah, from the trolling guys. Trolling bandit. It's all connected, man. Dude.
Yeah, why aren't you trolling me, you bastard?
New battery. Battery for my cigarette. My therapy. Oh, this one sucks too. Gotta go back to the old electric one.
Oh, did we lose Irwin? Damn. There he is.
There. I didn't even notice the interruption. Alright, so anyway, maybe I'll save this one and then we'll start.